Hey there, beautiful people. This is Mentor Shelley here to talk to you guys today about looking out for red flags when you are on the road, on the journey to acquiring your next job opportunity. Not every job is created equal. So we're going to be talking about the red flags you should never ignore, and it will help you to make the decision on the next job. Stay tuned, y'all. Please. Beautiful people, this is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. As you are coming in, drop a like, say hello. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and you want to make sure that you turn your post notifications on so that when I drop a next video, whether we're talking about Gen Zers in the job market, we're talking about layoffs, we're talking about good old fashioned career tips here. Want to make sure that you don't miss any of those. Now, sometimes when we go ahead and we're looking for the next job opportunity and we are putting those resumes out there, we're getting it done. We're out there, moving and shaking in the job market. You want to make sure that although you are looking for opportunities, not every opportunity is created equal. And you see that little scrunched up face that you see in the corner of me? That does not mean that you need to take advantage of every opportunity, because not all opportunities are created equal, folks. All right, so I want to make sure you see that. All right, now, first thing, internet red flags. Let's discuss the red flags that you may encounter. You get that call, you're invited to the interview, whether it be over the internet through through some form of software, through Zoom or wherever, or you're doing it in person. You're pumped, but wait a minute. Not every opportunity is a good one. Some interviews scream run before they even you even sign that offer letter. Let's hope you get to it. You figure that out before that. Oh, we're jumping ahead here a little bit. As Gen Zers or anyone else that is listening to this, you've got to be extra sharp about the red flags that you are experiencing. You want to make sure that you are not, of course, you're not going to get stuck in a toxic job that you hate, or you're not in the wrong environment that does not fit your professional needs, or it's not fitting the economic needs that you have. So we're going to dive right in. We're not going to hesitate. We're not going to hold up the time. Let's get into this right now. Now, 5 major red flags is what we're going to go through. And I want to make sure that you understand how to not only recognize them, but be able to react accordingly. Number 1, disrespect or unprepared interviewer. You show up, right? Whether it's in person or virtual, you show up and the interviewer is late. Sometimes that's not no fault of their own, but sometimes it is. Or worse, they completely forget about your interview, which has happened to me before. Or when they finally show up, they're unorganized. They ask random questions like they don't really understand the position that you're applying for. Or they didn't even look at your resume. And some of them will say that and apologize and start to try to clean up their act right away. If you're experiencing any of that, I wouldn't say go ahead and say, this place is a fraud. I wouldn't say that off rip, but give them a side eye a little bit. Red flag alert in a sense, though, but if they don't respect your time in the interview, imagine how they will treat you on the job. Lack of organization and professionalism often means a chaotic, stressful work environment, or that person that is interviewing is chaotic and unorganized. And you don't need that in your life. You have to keep in mind, though, that may just be the individual that is interviewing you. So it may reflect on the company, but it may also just be that particular person. So that if, in conjunction with some other things, then yeah, that could definitely be a red flag. Red flag number 2, you ask, can you walk me through a typical day in this role? And they hit you with the corporate gibberish like, oh, it's a dynamic role with lots of challenges. Did that answer your real question? Nope. That's the gibberish gloss over of I don't really know what your role entails, or I've never been in your role, or I'm not prepared to answer that question. So they give you the corporate response, the gibberish response. They don't actually know what you need or what this role needs, or they expect you to do everything on a low salary. Oh boy. If they can't define what success looks like in the role, you're setting yourself up for a job where expectations will shift every 5 seconds. You want to ask another question. So, can you walk me through a typical day in this role? What is it that you're looking for? How would you describe a person that is successful in this role? If you get 2 gibberish answers from those 2 questions, that's a big red flag. I'm sorry. That's a big red flag, because if you're interviewing me for the role or you're being interviewed for the role, they should be able to at least answer 1 or 2 of the questions. If they give you glossed over answers for both, nah, bruh, time to run. Time to run. Red flag number 3, pay attention, right? The overpay, underpay mentality. Please pay attention to when they are starting to say things like, we're a family here, so we can expect everyone to go the extra mile. Oh, no. Red flag. Woo, 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 woo. Turn the light on. That means they want you to work extra and not pay you for it. We need someone who's really dedicated and doesn't mind staying late when necessary. Woo, 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 woo. Red flag number 2. That's 2 red flags in 1. They need you to stay late and they want you to go the extra mile. So they want you to overwork and not pay you for it. Translation, they expect you to give them your life in exchange for a paycheck that doesn't even pay your rent. Run. Red flag alert. Companies that guilt trip employees into free labor are not it. Stay away from these people, okay? A healthy job respects work-life balance. And if you hear this in an interview, don't walk, don't crawl, don't shimmy, run. Okay, this is definitely a ball face. This is a ball face, not amber alert, red flag. Run from this. Okay? Red flag number 4, toxic work culture. How will you be able to decipher that? So picture this. You're in an interview and you ask them about team culture. Instead of actual answers, they give you an awkward silence and say something along the lines of, well, we've had some turnover, but we're working on it. Press pause. What you mean? You had some turnover. As a cognitive professional, you want to start asking. You ask another question to make sure that it's a full blown red flag. You've had some turnover. What do you mean? How long was the person in this role before me? Yeah, ask that clarifying question. And if they say something by 6 months or less, I said, what about the person before? And if they say 3 months, oh honey, that is a huge red flag. If the employees are constantly leaving, something is wrong, whether it's a toxic manager, low pay, or 0 growth opportunities. Trust me, you don't want to find that out the hard way. Please run. That's why I said not only ask one question, but ask a clarifying question to make sure that what you suspect is actually the truth. Red flag number 5, okay? And here is the biggest red flag. They are dodging the salary conversation. First of all, let me come full circle on this here screen. Anytime they are hesitating on your money or your salary or your compensation, and they're being vague about it, it's not a good sign. Or we'll talk about that at another time, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. Listen here. Hear what I say loud and clear. If they're hesitating on the salary, that means the salary ain't that great. Okay? All right. Let's make sure let's go and make sure we have yes. Now, we'll discuss compensation later on in the process. They're trying to push it off. Or we're still figuring out the budget for this role. Hold on, press pause. If you haven't figured out the budget, why are you talking to me first? That's really what I'm saying inside. I'm not going to say that to their face. I just know I'm not going to be accepting any kind of offer that comes from them. Red flag alert. If they are not upfront about pay, they're probably trying to lowball you. Know your worth before you step in that interview. And and always remember, guys, whoever brings up the number first loses. Do not ever, if you can avoid it, do not ever bring up the salary first, because who brings up the number first loses. All right. So those are some really, really, really big red flags to watch out for. So if you are going through job interview processes right now, that you're looking for opportunities, and any of these 5 or more than one of these 5 pop up, honey, please run. Let's secure the bag, but let's make sure that we are avoiding red flags like the plague. You have worked too hard to accept a job that does not pay you right, or treat you right, or is going to put toxicity in your professional life. If you want to walk into your next interview feeling confident and ready to negotiate your best offer, definitely book a consultation with me at calendly.com/mentorshelley3 and select the interview and salary negotiation consultation. Some of these red flags that I've gone over, these are some of the things that we talk about in your consultation, along with questions to ask, other clarifying questions to ask in an interview, to determine if they're really just a hot mess of a company and you don't even want to be associated. You don't even want people to know that you interviewed for them, because some companies are that, some companies are that bad. So you want to make sure that you have what you need, and I'm definitely here to help you with that. If you go to mentorshelley.com/interview, and then you can go right below that and click on interview consultations. You can also schedule your consultation there as well. Now, guys, what will be included? I touched on that already, but I'll give you the perfect interview strategy. Handle tricky salary questions like a pro, because you can mention the number. There's ways you can mention the number first, but it's in the way in which you do it, and I'll make sure you're prepared before the interview so you don't go in there blindsided. Negotiate your salary, and also perks and fringe benefits that you deserve. You do not want to leave any money or any benefits on the table. So I will definitely coach you into, number one, interviewing like a boss and getting the money you want during your negotiation, along with other benefits. And of course, you can schedule that consultation at calendly.com/mentorshelley3. And before you go, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more career gems, and making sure that you you don't find yourself in these red flag situations. Guys, share below if you've ever had any other wild red flag situations in interviews. I know I've had one where I drove half an hour from my house, or 35 or 40 minutes from my house, only for them to tell me, oh, this is a particular position. They looked at my resume. I sat down and they asked me one question within the space, and it only took 5 minutes. If you were going to do that in an interview, might as well you just call me on the phone, and you may have me waste my time and my gas. When I tell you that thing ticked me off. Anyway, go ahead and share your wildest interview red flag stories in the comments, or in down below. Thank you so much. Of course, guys, if you have additional questions, go ahead and go to my page at mentorshelley.com/contact, where you can leave me a voicemail or an email message, and I'm more than happy to return that voicemail or email within 24 hours, as long as it's going to take 5 minutes or less. Anything over that, you got to schedule a consult. All right, guys, this is Mentor Shelley, wanting to make sure that you become a better version of yourself professionally. Please run away from those red flags so you do not put yourself in crazy waters in these job market streets. All right, guys, take care. You have a good one. Bye.